Welcome to Auckland, New Zealand. We're just pulling up. It's kind of a late arrival. It's around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I plan to be doing a tour today, Auckland Panorama. Stepping off the brilliance of the seas in Auckland, New Zealand, I'm about to embark on a solo adventure that's anything but solitary. We're stepping straight into the heart of Auckland, New Zealand's vibrant city. It's incredible how the port drops us right downtown, making it super easy to dive into the city charm. I opted for an Auckland Panorama tour, which is a relaxing 3.5-hour journey showcasing the city's spectacular sights and also the Winter Garden. Costs around $75. It's exciting. I've never been here before. This week's my 65th country that I visited, so I'm excited about that, something new. I'm just going to opt with the safety in numbers. I'm solo traveling. The weather is actually kind of pleasant. It's not as cold as it was coming over here. I'd say it's 60s, chance of rain, but it's kind of a little overcast. I'll be wearing probably long sleeves and long pants, but it's nice. It's not too bad. So whether you're considering a shore excursion or simply looking for tips on how to spend your day in Auckland, join me as we discover the beauty and ease of exploring the city from the cruise port. Let's get started.
The nickname for Auckland is actually the City of Sails. It's referring to the number of sailboats that we have. You'll see there's another marina coming up on the left-hand side once we get over the bridge here. Just about perfectly round. Wherever you look, man of his time, and of course 1939, that was right at the end of the Great Depression. When he passed away, they decided to build a memorial.
Memorial to an ex-prime minister. They just made this for him. Came here as an alternate route because the rose gardens were not blooming. It's a beautiful scenery. Green, a lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of nature, trails, and kind of just what I expected. I guess the climate is just so nice that these plants don't dry out. They just look great all the time. Nice view.
The Auckland Harbour Bridge, the only inner city crossing of the harbour for vehicles. See the two volcanic cones, far right, that's North Head, and then the next one in is Mount Victoria. And Mount Victoria sits right behind the little Edwardian settlement of Devonport. Devonport is the home to the Royal New Zealand Navy. Sky tower there, then just off to the right hand side of the sky tower. And I had someone ask me about Mount Albert. We probably can see that from the top of the harbour bridge actually. Almost directly off in front of us. Right there. So we are at the Winter Gardens and we have an hour here. Not really sure what this is about, but the rose gardens that we were supposed to go to, they weren't in bloom, so we didn't stop. It's really pretty here. It kind of reminds me of Victoria. There's the War Memorial there. Looks like there's some kind of police thing going on. This is all within the central area of where we're standing. I guess they started developing this in the early 1900s. But what an idea. It's like kind of like a greenhouse. It's so pretty. It smells so fragrant. Really nice. Oh my goodness. I love flowers, so this is a great thing for me to see. So humid inside here. It's such a beautiful garden. It's peaceful. It kind of reminds me of something you'd find in San Francisco or somewhere in Canada with the flowers. I don't know who maintains them, but they're really pretty purple accents. More in October. They're so pretty, the snapdragons. Outside the gardens, it's a really pretty sitting area. The wisterias over there. It's just very peaceful, pleasant. We have an hour to look around. These are the kind of tours I like, so as far as solo travel, this would be a good choice. I mean, I guess you could take a taxi here, but you cannot walk it from the ship. It's too far away. Here's an example of keeping your eye on the time. We've got here, the guy let us out on the bus. There's lots of different entryways to get here. We have 1 hour. I took a picture of what we're supposed to be boarding. I mean, I don't want to miss anything, and it's easy to do, you know. You get kind of distracted by all the beauty here. What a great idea, and it's free. Which is another kind of shock. Now we're into the tropical building. Kind of fuzzy. The traditional Hawaiian flower. I think it's called Imperium. It's kind of good I took this tour. I probably would have never seen this. It's really, really beautiful if you like gardens. Look, there's some birds, a little lake over there, a pond, and there's a little cafe you can have coffee. Of a walk. Observatory is right there, and then to the right is the cafe, and then there's the pond. It's kind of like a memorial museum. I'm up on a hill. I'm running out of time, so I can't really get up there, but I don't want to do that. Solo travel, you don't want to be left behind.
Of course, healthcare here in New Zealand is supposed to be free for everyone. A little bit of an argument as to what state you've got to be in before you qualify. One thing you'll notice as we drive back through the domain, there's quite a diverse range of fauna and flora and the different species of trees. And what happened is when the first Europeans arrived here in the early 1800s, they brought out samples and saplings from where they'd come from, and this was the area that they chose to plant it to see what grew well and what didn't grow so well. So hence why we've got such a diverse range today. Right hand side, its claim to fame was where trout was first introduced to New Zealand, which came from California. The brown trout was here. And behind that was the statue of Robbie Burns. Yeah, Bahutakawa, translated from Maori into English, it means red feather. It's got quite a needly sort of a flower, almost like a bottle brush type flower, but a lovely crimson red. Maori folk, they have a saying that if the Bahutakawa tree flowers early, means it's going to be a nice long hot summer. So this area that we're just driving down through here is called the Parnell village shops, old colonial style villas that have been converted. The highway is just a single lane in each direction. The design. You have the 5 lanes going into the city in the morning, 3 3 lanes going out, and then at night time they move the barrier across the other way, so in the evening you have the 5 lanes going out of the city. A lot of restaurants and bars, cafes, pizza places, you know, wine bars. It's very much the part of Auckland to be seen, if you know what I mean. If you're anybody that thinks you're somebody special, this is where you want to be seen to meeting out. Road coming up here on the left hand side called Franklin Road. At Christmas time the whole street decorates their houses with Christmas lights, and they have a local competition. Sort of where the ladies of the night offer negotiable a fraction. It's all perfectly legal here in New Zealand. We have what they call the Hero Parade that comes down here every year to celebrate diversity. A lot of bright colours, quite a flamboyant area of Auckland. And we start to get into the main shopping precinct. One thing you'll notice as we drive down Queen Street here in Auckland is a very diverse city. As I was saying earlier on, we have a lot of overseas students coming into Auckland to study here. A lot of the shops down here cater to souvenirs, duty-free stores and the likes. So during COVID, unfortunately, Queen Street was hit pretty hard.
After the tour, I had plenty of time to wander through downtown Auckland. We were there until 8:30 p.m. and it just so happens the ship is located exactly downtown within walking distance of all the shops. So I was able to check out a lot of different things and see souvenir shops, enjoy coffee, and soak up the local atmosphere. So it made for a very nice day. Ship is just straight down the street here, about 2 blocks. There's a lot to see if you're walking around here. Bag they gave me for all my purchases. These shops are catering to tourists, and they're really expensive. Oh, sushi. Oh, it's delicious. Our tour guide was saying how there's a big university here and there's a lot of foreign exchange students or international students. So I feel like this is all kind of catering to tourism from somewhere. It's not all cruise ships. Lots of high-end stores here. You have Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Switzerland, and then these merino wool sweaters up the street are not cheap. Zealand currency, but still, it's not cheap. Things are kind of up hills. H&M across the way. Right by the ship. A little mall area or something. The ship is this way. This is like an eatery. It's right by the cruise ship. I'm on the second level here. So this is directly in front of the ship. Sometimes they have different things. Lululemon, they may have different styles. Looking in the window here. So that's kind of their looks right now. Scooters here. Places to eat. There's a Starbucks here right off the ship, but if you go straight down that way, all the way down, there's tons of shopping, but it's higher end. The souvenir shops aren't that bad. A lot of tourists here, but I don't know, they're not on my ship, so they're from like all over the place. This is an easy city to walk around in, so you really don't need a tour. As far as the tour I took, I mean, I liked the Winter Gardens. That was really nice. But the rest of it, it was really hands-off. The guy basically drove us there and let us out. So there was hardly any interaction with us. And it seems like for $80 that you'd want to, you know, have a little bit more than that. So I don't know. Maybe you can take a taxi. It might be better. I don't think I would recommend this tour for that reason. I don't usually not like a tour, but it was hit and miss, really. A big tour group right here. And there's lots of tour buses right there. Like there's hordes of people that aren't on my ship. Interesting though. Container store service thing. That's kind of a good idea. It's a bike hub. Here we are. Brilliance of the Seas. People playing basketball right outside of the cruise ship terminal. Kind of weird. And if you have found this interesting or enjoyable, or you've learned something, please make sure that you hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing. This is an interesting cruise terminal. It's like one escalator. Pretty empty. Security, we had to show our driver's license here, so make sure you bring that.
I mean, like I said, I think I would bypass the tour, but at the same time, I saw things that I would never have seen. Like we went over the bridge, we went to the Winter Gardens, and we went to some memorial site on the top that had a really nice view. So those things you wouldn't be able to see if you just walked right out the door here. Was it worth $75? I don't know. As you know, I always try to give you the most honest information so that you can make a good choice. I know that people did a hop-on, hop-off bus, and I noticed that it stopped at one of the places that I stopped at, the memorial for the Prime Minister. I'm not sure where that goes, but I doubt it costs $75, so you might want to think about that. Hop-on, hop-off bus. Starbucks is just down the street for free Wi-Fi, so that's good to know. I would say it's kind of expensive here. Average price of a home is $1 million, so you know that kind of gives you an idea that everything's relative to that. So if you have found this helpful, informative, or you've learned something, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And I do have a series on the Brilliance of the Seas, and everywhere I went in the Trans-Pacific. It's been a great trip. I would highly recommend it. It's a long one, but it was worth it, and it was very relaxing. So thank you so much for joining me today, and tomorrow we're off to Bay of Islands in New Zealand, and I'll be coming to you from there.
And if you're craving more adventures or tips, especially for solo travelers on the Brilliance of the Seas, I do have an extensive playlist on everything about the ship and my solo journeys. Thank you so much for watching.
So until next time.